stream. Today I'll be building this Marvel set from January of this year, the Hulk vs. Hulkbuster. Let me pull up the stream, got the most previous Hulkbuster there. Excited to get a Hulk figure for some reason of collecting Marvel since the theme started. I don't have any version of Hulk, which feels odd. But yeah, so excited to get that, but more excited than anything, getting the arm printed Iron Man Mark 43. Let me see. There we go. So yeah, that was sort of the thing that drew me to this set, ordering it January 1st, was this arm printed Iron Man. There's also the Mark III, I believe, with the arm printing in the buildable Iron Man figure. But here is the figure with the arm printing. Quite nice, that newer helmet design. I think I've gotten used to it at this point. Yeah, I'm pretty sure everything except for those arms is the exact same as the other one that's come in a few sets. There it is. I believe it's pretty much the exact same to that one. But yeah, some nice arm printing. All right, let's get into this Hulkbuster, which yeah, looks like a fine build. Of course, this is one of two sets that came out for January that have this sort of new diorama base for the Marvel theme. Yeah, I think they're nice little diorama sets. The other one, that Spider-Man 3 set, which will definitely be one I pick up at some point. It seems like a nice one, interesting one, and some nice nice minifigures included in that one as well, especially that that Venom one, which is quite nice. But yeah, I wanted to get one of those arm printed Iron Mans from January. Definitely could have waited to get this one on sale, but I wanted those arm printed. One of them at least. I'll definitely get the Mark III at some point. And it would probably be with that set, because I quite like the look of that one. I still need to get that Iron Man bust that they made, the one that's got the Mark IV figure. And then apart from pretty much, bought Silver Centurion not that long ago, so haven't opened it up, but yeah, there's that one, which is certainly a nice looking figure, definitely the most detailed one. But I hope this continues with these arm printed suits. Of course, I'd rather get new suits, but and not just new ones of especially a suit that we already got a new version of in the Mark 43, which was in a bunch of sets, and then another new version of the Mark 43. I hope it don't go back and get a bunch of other suits that we've got in this new helmet design, just so that they have the arm printing. But I do hope that any Iron Man figures now, from now on, that should include it, which I believe is pretty much most of them, has it. So yeah, that's sort of my hope for any new Iron Man suits. But yeah, I hope there's a new one though this year. Of course, the 3 and this 43 are nice upgrades to the existing figures. But yeah, I hope there's actually some new suits. I'd love some of the colorful ones to come out of it. I think those would be the ones that I'd really like to see. Of course, those ones are a little bit harder to include. Those are probably more like book inclusions, or a Hall of Armor, which I'm sure won't be too far away. They like to release those, seems like almost yearly or bi-yearly. But Yeah, feels like it's some less tan so far. There's a lot of tan in the last one, um, which, of course, is a different Hulkbuster, but seems like a bit of tan still. Not too big of a sticker sheet. I'm assuming, by the look of it, this one head part for it will be your sort of one main printed element for it. Um, and then, of course, there's the Hulk Big Fig in that relatively new style. I guess at this point, was it 2021 or 2020 that they started the Infinity Saga with that new Thanos and Big Fig mold? Um, 21, I think. Or was it 22? Who knows? I certainly don't. Okay, where I think I'm blind because there's not too many pieces here and I can't see this one. Okay, I'll find that one later. I don't think it'll be too critical to anything. But a lot of dark red so far, which makes sense. Seems like a few more less details around the chest for this one compared to the Infinity War one. But yeah, I like myself some Iron Man sets. So I was really excited when I saw that these figures had arm printing. So yeah, definitely wanted to get one of those in for January. But yeah, it's a nice figure. I quite like it, and I hope that I continue to do them like that. All right, first sticker of the build for the arc reactor on one of the Nexonites shield pieces. That's not too bad. There we go. How many pieces in this guy? 413, so not a huge one, but a few elements to go around. I'm assuming the size range is about the same. I think the last bag is sort of the terrain build because you get two sets of instructions in the set, one for the 3 bags that make up the Hulkbuster and the Hulk Big Fig, and the 4th one in the second instruction manual being for, oh, there it is. Wonderful. That's nice. So I guess I was blind because it was right in front of me. But I don't even know what I was getting on about. Oh yeah, the base in bag 4, which I don't think takes up too much. I guess that's also a printed element because it's not on the sticker sheet, which is nice. Always like when those display plaques are printed. So it'll be interesting to see if they do more of these because I do like this style of diorama, even though it's, I guess, somewhat annoying that every single year it seems like they change the style of them, so you can't really have any consistency with them, but hopefully they keep this one around for at least a couple years, and we'll have a nice little lineup of Marvel dioramas that will be interesting, considering that the first 2 was one from the Infinity Saga, but then you had one from the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies, so it'll be interesting to see where they continue to go with it. But yeah, I like the look of that one. It's not, I think it's like a $30 set or something. So definitely will be one I'll pick up soon and check it out, build it, and try out that one as well. But this one with its arm printed Iron Man was enough to draw me in, even though I already got a couple versions of Mark 43. I'd like to upgrade it, but I hope they continue with the arm printed ones. It'd be nice to see any upcoming suits they do with the arm printing there. That fits quite nicely for the chest area. One thing with the previous one, the Infinity War one, there's a decently sized gap between the head and the body and the cockpit area, so you can sort of see in there. And so when there's no minifigure in there, you can definitely just sort of clearly see in there. Okay, one second, I need to fix that. Already messing up parts of the build. Really wasn't too much, it was just the color of the piece. There we go. That works well enough. And quite pleased with how it's shaping up so far. Seems like a well-shaped and constructed Hulkbuster, and well, that certainly minimizes gaps. I'll just see how nicely the head goes in there. All right, that's pretty good. I feel like there's pretty minimal gaps there. I like how that looks. All right, there is bag one, the torso and the head of the Hulkbuster. And now it's on to the knees by the looks of it. So I'm actually going to use those newer joint elements from Ninjago Core, I think was the first time they introduced them. So I guess this one, did it? It does have, no it doesn't. Okay, so both of them don't have any movable knees, because this one certainly won't with those Ninjago Core elements. Would have been nice to see some ball joints. Those are always nice to see in any mech set, or I guess any sort of movement in the knees and the legs. All right, next sticker of the build. Sticker number 1 on this pearl gold part. It's not too bad. Right. And now some ingot pieces. Those are always, and it's a nice color here in the dark red. I quite like that. Wouldn't mind using that sometime. It's a nice color on a nice Lego piece. I always like those ingot pieces. They're a nice one. Used them on a recent build, and quite like the detail that they were able to add to it. And another ingot piece in gunmetal gray. off. And another sticker. 5 and 2 look quite similar, so make sure I actually get the right one here. All right. And little part 2. Add some detail to the knees. This opalescent blue 1x1 circular tile. Those actually look quite nice, and it looks like there will be some ball joints, at least at the hips. Okay, this is definitely a much smaller Hulkbuster than the last one, which I don't mind. I kind of like the smaller look for the Hulkbuster, but yeah, this one is definitely much smaller. Well, I guess I'm pretty sure that last one was probably about a similar piece count, and that was just including the Hulkbuster. I don't entirely remember how much this set was. Maybe it was 65 Canadian, I think. I don't know, but might be a little bit expensive for what it is. By rights, I should have just waited for a sale, because like any recent LEGO release, it would have gone on sale. But I wanted myself that arm printed Iron Man, so I'm content purchasing this one. But the Spider-Man one definitely feels like a better value set. But yeah, that's a nice sticker. Hello. All right. The second of the legs. All right. Enjoying building this set. I guess disappointed in baseball signing news, but other than that, pretty good. I'm actually not really that disappointed in them, really. I just need to get a new Blue Jays jersey now, so yeah, but pretty good. Ingot piece in gunmetal gray. Few more stickers, and with that, the knees are complete. Kind of surprised just how small it is. It's yeah. I wasn't surprised that happened. Like it's funny, and they just keep on getting everyone. But yeah. Well, I liked the last I liked the 1994 lockout, or the season before that's World Championship or World Series results. So if it's the same this time, I'll be happy. But yeah, it's I don't even know where they're putting all these guys at this point. But yeah, it's certainly quite something to to see them keep on adding to the team. But yeah, I don't think I'm gonna believe anything until it happens. Every single season, it seems like the Blue Jays are first in the signing of someone, and then when it actually happens, nope. Uh, just last 3 seasons, 2 seasons, with the biggest free agent, and all the reports on how they're the top one. But I guess not. But yeah, that was interesting to see that last night. I don't know. I'm not even like that disappointed about it. It's just is what it is. And only got to see him once during the regular season, so that's fine. That was yeah, certainly interesting news, but I was hoping with not signing Kyle Tucker, the Blue Jays would be getting Bo, but I guess not, unless something happens with the physical. Um, but yeah, I'm pretty sure I did see that trade last night. All right, the legs of the Hulkbuster are put together, and now it's just the arms left to go. This thing is definitely quite a bit smaller than the last one. Yeah. Well, it's I guess the $126 million or whatever it is over 3 years makes up for it. But I'm just happy he's going to the Mets. If it, I'd be uh, much more upset about it if it was the Yankees. So um, I I am much more. At least don't have to see the teams they're going to, except for once during the regular season, and then ideally, I guess the World Series if that would be the case. So, yeah, I'm just happy it's National League. But yeah, I also saw something about them wanting Bo to play third base, which watching Bo for the last 7 years, I don't know whose idea that is, because that certainly will not go well or will not last, because his arm just is not good enough for that. But yeah, that'll be interesting if that's actually the case, because I don't quite understand that one. But yeah. But I do need to now find a new player to get a jersey for, because that's because Bo was the one I had for from a most recent jersey, so gonna need to pick someone else. I think the tickets for the Blue Jays go up sometime next week. I think I'm gonna try to get a ticket for the first game. See him put up a new banner. Always fun to watch that stuff. So I think I'll go to that one if I can get a ticket to it. I'm interested to see how much they're going to be selling the single game tickets for, because they I think a season or last season I think they were like $30 for like 500 level, the highest point in the stadium. So far this season they put out like a thing for Boxing Day or something like that, where it was $20 tickets for the 500 level. Last year I think it was like $5 was the Boxing Day thing. So I'm interested to see how much the just regular tickets are this year. And I guess now that they haven't signed Bo or Kyle, I was assuming that they were sort of waiting on that, so to see if they could charge a little bit more for them. So who knows? But I'm still optimistic about the upcoming Blue Jays season, and I'm excited to watch it. I hope it goes well. But yeah. All right, last, or not last, but one of the last few stickers of the build. Onto one of these dark tan parts, the arms. I think this smaller Hulkbuster is probably more in scale for what these are supposed to be in comparison to like a minifigure. Okay. There's one. And the next one. And then it's on to the final bag, the little base. I really like those. This arm printed Iron Man. I ordered that January 1st. When I ordered that one, it was in stock at the time, but then I got the confirmation email and it was on back order. No, actually, I think it was out of stock at that point. So mine is I don't actually think it's shipped. I think it's still on back order. So yeah, I don't even know when I'm gonna be getting my DeLorean, but I'm very excited to build that one. That looks like a really nice set. Yeah, I haven't actually looked at it. I've been getting emails and updates on my January 1st order, and I think the last one I got was that it was on back order, because I got this set, an Ninjago set, and a Minecraft set in the mail, and then there was the Formula One movie car from Speed Champions. I ordered that and that arrived a few days later. I think it went on back order, but then it shipped sort of quickly. And then I ordered another Ninjago set that was on back order, and that recently shipped. But I don't think the DeLorean has. But yeah, I really hadn't had that before. When where I've ordered something from the website on a release day, and it said it's in stock when I've ordered it, and then it was actually out of stock in this one's case. Um, it was an interesting release day, though. I feel like a lot of things sold very quickly, um, which was interesting. I I'm worried to see how busy it keeps getting with some release days, because of course there was the Black Friday one where there was all the big D2Cs that were retiring, like the Lion Knight's Castle and things like that I think sold out within seconds. That was sort of the first time I had seen that, where on Lego's website something just sold out super quickly. But yeah, it was a similar case with this one, and I guess those Pokemon sets that they revealed this week, that really big one, seemed like it sold quite well and very quickly. But I think it went back up. I don't know if it's still up or not, but I think went, the pre-orders went out of stock, then it went back in stock. I don't know. But all right, there is the Hulkbuster, which is certainly a bit smaller than the last one, the Infinity War one. But yeah, there's not too many gaps in the cockpit area, which is nice. But yeah, there's definitely very minimal articulation on this guy. Like, there's nothing in the elbows. You just have the shoulders and the hands. But I guess considering that it's just going to be thrown on to the base for the diorama, it doesn't necessarily need as much articulation as others. But yeah, I kind of like the size of it, and I like that the gaps are minimized around the chest. All right, I am going to throw in. Actually, I don't think you really need to fit in one of the minifigures, because I'm just going to put that new Mark 43 suit into my Hall of Armor and leave it there. All right, bag 4 and the next instruction manual, the little base. I like this size and style of diorama for Lego Marvel. It's a nice one, and then of course having that Spider-Man one, which I think is like a $20 or $30 diorama, that's a pretty nice price point for one of these style of sets. So I hope they at least keep this one going for a little bit longer than some of the others. They seem to like to just change up the style of it pretty regularly. But yeah, I like this one so far, and the minifigures included. It's certainly probably a bit too expensive for what it is, especially with that Hulkbuster, which is kind of small. But yeah, definitely by rights should have just waited for this thing to go on sale, but I wanted that arm printed Iron Man suit. I like myself some Iron Man suits. They're definitely some of my favorite Lego minifigures, and yeah. Nice ones. All right, that's a pretty small base. I'm assuming all the bases, or the two of they've made, are the same size. But who knows? These ones, I guess, are similar to the Statue of Liberty one, as well as the smaller additional set that they did for that one. But I enjoyed that one. I thought that was a really strong Marvel set. I think the theme has done some good stuff recently, but then a few. Of course, every year there's always the Spider-Man car and the Iron Man car and those type of things, but I like these ones, even if this is the probably like third or fourth Hulkbuster in the last 5 years or so. They certainly like putting them out. Yeah. All right, where is this circular element? There it is. Wonderful. Technic pin. I like the buildable Iron Man from this January's wave of sets. I thought that one was quite nice and a very strong set. Am I putting this together right? I don't think so. Okay, there we go. I see what I did. That was wonderful. Even the smallest sets, I guess I have found a way. But yeah, I like this one. I like these Hulkbusters, and I don't think I've built this particular model of the Hulkbuster before, so I guess that's something new from the theme. But it'll be interesting to see what they do in the summer wave of sets with some big new movie releases. It's definitely one I like, but I think I really like these smaller architecture sets, like the city skylines, a lot more than I do those big ones, but it does look like a cool set. Some nice building in there, but yeah, I don't, but might have to pick it up at some point before it releases. It looks like a nice one, and I enjoy putting together those architecture sets, but I wish they did a bit more of the skylines. But I think the last one they did was Singapore, and that at this point was quite a few years ago, and it seems like there's that New York one coming out, which I believe is part of architecture. There's that Paris one. I think there was a New York one coming out, that are in almost like this very large postcard type style, which is interesting, but I like those smaller skylines much better, yeah, but it seems like an interesting one, and I do like the look of those larger architecture sets. I just have no clue where to put it, but yeah. I think my one quite big set for the year this year is probably going to be Minas Tirith when that comes out. So that will be my big set that I'll try to find a place for this year, which I am very excited for that one. The minifigure list of it sounds very exciting, and yeah, certainly want to pick that one up. I'm interested to see how they do it too. If it's gonna be sort of like an architecture set with a mini, with smaller elements for the build. Yeah, I have a feeling that's gonna be a nice one. I've enjoyed all of the Lord of the Rings sets so far, even though I haven't, I guess, built a couple of them. I still need to pick up that Balrog book nook. I should do that at some point before it retires. And I guess I haven't built either of the 2 promos. I have those somewhere. Yeah, I enjoyed the Shire quite a bit. And I think I'll pick up that Sauron bust whenever that comes out. It seems like a nice one. I like the build of it. But yeah, I have a feeling that Minas Tirith one is going to be a very nice set. But so far I've been pretty happy with a lot of the sets from this year. I thought Speed Champions was really nice. The DeLorean looks really nice. Very excited to build that one. I absolutely loved Lightning McQueen. That was and probably is my favorite set of the year, and it's sort of going to be hard to top that one. I really enjoyed that one. But yeah, there's been some nice sets so far this year. It's been interesting to see that I haven't really seen anything else about more of the Book Nook sets. It felt like that was going to be something that they were really going to push. Yeah, little display plaque done on a 1x6. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if it's yeah, I'm very interested to see what the style that they go for with the set, because I'm assuming it's sort of hard to make the minifigure scale, or unless you sort of just do the top bits of it, which I think would be sort of disappointing. So I feel like it sort of needs to be smaller. It would have to be a pretty expensive set to be in a very large set at that, to actually have sort of minifigure interiors. So it'll be interesting to see how they do it. I'm assuming it'll sort of be kind of micro scale in a few ways, and then they'll maybe have some minifigure spaces, like they seem to do quite a few different sets like it. Because I would assume you want to have spaces for Denethor and things like that, and Gandalf talking to Pippin, and the sort of bridge area and the tree and all of those type of things. And maybe you can have sort of a catapult at the bottom for some orcs. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see, but I'm sure it'll be a nice one. I've been impressed with all of them so far, and especially the very large ones, and considering this one is going to be a pretty large one, I expect it will be quite impressive. And I hope there's a promo to go along with it, because I've enjoyed those promos so far. One promo that seems like it's really shot up quite a bit is that Stranger Things promo set from the Creel House. I think that one's gotten quite expensive very quickly, but of course it did sell out quite quickly, so not too surprised by that. But yeah, I haven't really even looked at how much the last two Lord of the Rings promos are going for now, because I did kind of want to pick up at least another Fell Beast. I sort of wanted one of those, but yeah, I think they were around 100 or so, maybe a bit more, but yeah. Alright, I think this base is sort of getting close to being finished. A little fire hydrant. I don't even remember the minifigure list for, but I remember it sounding kind of cool to me. It sounded kind of small, but at the same time, kind of exciting. Like, I think there were some of those soldiers from Gondor, and maybe, no, it wasn't. Just some, I don't even remember at this point what was in there. Or if there was maybe Denethor, Faramir. I don't remember even what the list was. I remember Gandalf the White. I think that was in the list, and Pippin. That's about all I remember from that minifigure list. But I remember it being an somewhat exciting list. It was sort of a smaller list, like 6 or so, or something like that. I don't even remember. Yeah, it had the 4 house founders, I think, is what that one had. And then that smaller, that 200 or 250, the smaller one that they came out with a couple years ago, I think, had the Hogwarts Architect or something like that. But yeah, the biggest one from 2018 or 19, I think, had the 4 founders, which were pretty nice minifigures from what I remember. They were really nicely detailed ones. But alright, I'll clip in this little sign bit. It's getting some height to it now. There we go. Oh, okay. No, it's this one. Yeah, that felt a bit too high. Actually, this base has gotten quite large. Yeah, it had all those micro figures, which would be interesting to see if they were to include things like that into it. I wouldn't want the thing, like, I think you can do sort of micro, but I don't know if that would sort of work if you have half and half. So it'll be interesting to see if they do sort of micro scale exterior with minifigure scale interior, which I guess sort of in a way is kind of what Barad-dûr was like, or it was more just downscaled. But yeah. Huh. That's interesting. There are some interesting ones there's certain sets, like I feel like Rivendell has been sort of off and on being on back order since that released. There's a lot of things that I feel like continue to sell very well, um, which is is interesting. I guess that's why that one has lasted as as long as it has at this point. Um, and even having two of them out at the same time. I kind of like the smaller version of the set the most, but yeah. All right. And with that, that is it. All right, so the components of the build. The base with the stand to stand up the Hulkbuster there, and then Hulk, which will attach to this little light bulb here. That is a nice one. I think they've done those botanical sets quite nicely. Then there's a fist shooting out, which is interesting. All right, let me pose this guy up. And there we go. And that is the Avengers Age of Ultron Hulkbuster vs. Hulk. It definitely is sturdy with the Technic rods holding everything up, but it feels odd holding it because it just shakes so much. But yeah, that's kind of a cute diorama. It's very tall and very short at the base, and a very short and small base, and then it's quite tall. But it's actually kind of a nice little diorama. It's actually kind of nice. I like it. I definitely sort of bought it just to get this arm printed Iron Man. Um, but the build is actually kind of fun. I really like it. I hope they continue to do these because I think like these type of scenes are quite interesting in this format, and yeah, not too bad. Yeah, I was sort of surprised just how small the Hulkbuster was. I was kind of expecting that it would be maybe the same size as the last one, but I kind of like the shrunk down version of it. And I like the Hulk figure. Even I'm shocked that this is the first time I've actually gotten a Lego Hulk figure, buying sets from the theme since it started. But yeah, it's a nice one. I like it. All right, so I think that's about it for today. Next week, should have some Ninjago sets to build. Going to be building the blacksmith shop from Ninjago Legacy that came out in January, which I'm very excited to build. It looks like a really, really nice build. And I think another Ninjago set. And at some point, I'll be building that Speed Champions DeLorean whenever that decides to show up. Which I guess it was on back order and out of stock, so it makes sense. But I think this is going to be probably my office set as the longest it's taken for a set to show up for me. Even though that one I don't even think was out of stock. That just for some reason took like a month to show up. But yeah, thanks for watching the stream. And yeah, excited to build some more January 1st sets soon. So, yeah,